All right, folks, welcome back to Search Geeks Speak. We're doing a bit of a link building or relationship building, Deborah? Yeah, panel. This week we have Dan Thies, the right brain of SEO Braintrust. I like the title. Is that on your business cards, Dan?
Yes, it is. Leslie is the left brain.
Oh, very nice. And we have returning again as well. Actually, Dan's been with us before. We have Debra Mastaler back again, president of Alliance Link. How are we, Deb?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back again.
Always a pleasure. And, of course, Terry's with us as always. Terry, how's it going, buddy?
Good. I'm the no-brain in our part.
Don't make me laugh today, man. Laughing is bad.
Here to what Dan said earlier. One, half the people that have come to us with their messages and said nothing's happened, half of them have seen some drop or some removal from the index, and the other half have not. So there doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason for that particular situation. But I know that if someone comes to you and says, you know, you're doing something wrong, they're going to expect some sort of action eventually. So I don't know if there's a time limit on this or a timetable, but at least you know that they know. The second thing is that, you know, most of what's happened here from what we can see has all been a result of what we call, just for lack of a better term, forced linking. It's not editorial linking. It's all forced linking. It's submissions, it's profiles, it's footers, it's directory links, so on and so forth. And as Google moves more toward, you know, author-based editorial compensation for their links, you know, these types of forced linking patterns are going to be just more and more obvious. You know, this whole issue with rel author and rel publisher and the rest of it that they're putting into is their way of saying, okay, you publish something, people follow you, you know, you have some sort of footprint there editorially versus these other types of link building strategies. So I think the bottom line here with all of this stuff is everything still works. You know, it still works. But unfortunately, you know, if you're one of these folks that relies on that exclusively and not anything else, meaning if you rely on the forced type of link building, then you're going to see more and more of this, or you're going to have to continue to do more and more of it because it's going to be less and less effective.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, fine, I'm going to sell this term because it's done good on Google AdWords or something.
Right. They get some math out of something like Market Samurai that says this is a hot niche. Just like, I mean, people used to go to Word Tracker and look for high KEI because that proves that there's this market niche that, like, something that everybody wants to buy but nobody's trying to sell.
And
that
good.
doesn't exist.
I think that's fine if you can find that. But the problem is that they usually stop there after the term and they build out the site and they don't. Yep. There's always a nuance behind the people who buy in that. For, you know, like the payday loan thing. Payday loan has a tendency to fall in an age and a financial income bracket. And we know from, you know, studies and research that those people don't do certain things online. But yet, you know, all the approaches are cookie cutter that way. So more and more as this rel author business comes into it, you know, in the association of personal with quality online, more and more marketers, I think that's the focus you need to take in the future. You need to know who it is that you're trying to target. And then you need to find the better places to put your content.
I always have worked under who's my audience, who am I trying to find, where do they go, what are their interests, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a keyword. Guy who fishes probably likes to hike and stuff too.
But that kind of focus and you know, market research and understanding the audience is why people go to somebody like Debra, who, instead of, you know, that's why you don't just hire a bunch of people in Bangalore to send out spam emails for you. That's why you hire somebody that's going to try to actually understand what you do, who you do it for, and why. Because the link building actually has a purpose beyond just getting links.
Well, that's why in the future, moving forward, you know, these network sites or people that have many hundreds of sites, it's just going to be harder and harder and harder. Instead of focusing on, you know, a half a dozen of them and doing it well. And I don't, you know.
Yeah, well, trying to make something like that work is a lot like trying to dig holes in water. And, you know, right, you have to dig really fast.
Or have a big machine.
Or the hole fills in. Freaking water.